This is the TJ Hoisington Podcast. Unleash your greatness within.
But if all you do is say, I can't do it, I wasn't born to do it, I don't have the genetic makeup, I don't have the DNA, I don't have the predisposition or whatever else, and you give those excuses to yourself, you're always going to find a reason why you can't do it. At some point, you've got to wake up from that matrix and say, you know what? I'm in charge of my destiny.
My passion and my mission to help you unleash your greatness within. My heart goes out to the underdogs, that's on their way. If you think you can go from good to great, okay, let's motivate. GreatnessWithin.com, TJ Hoisington. GreatnessWithin.com. Oh, if you dreaming it, believe in it, work hard for it, and in the process serve others in a positive way. Think you can do it.
Hey there, I have a quick thought for you around believing in possibilities in the words we use. And if you're a leader or a supervisor, hey, here's a little thing you can do to breathe belief into your people. I remember I was in 8th grade, and I remember I played sports at the high school because I lived in Fort Campbell, Kentucky on a military base. When I was in middle school, they didn't have sports at the middle school. So if you were in 8th grade, you could play at the high school, which was a 4-year high school on Fort Campbell, Kentucky base. And I remember I wanted to pole vault like my dad. My dad pole vaulted in high school, did really well with it. I wanted to be like my dad. So I remember I went to the high school to pole vault with a number of other guys. And I remember there was a man, a senior in high school named Stan, that was, I think, a state champion pole vaulter. He was awesome. And you know what? I knew he was good looking and popular too, because all the girls that were on the football cheerleading squad were always hanging out to watch Stan. So I knew he must have been a catch or something. So I looked up to him. He was cool, he was calm, he was good looking, just a cool guy, right? And here I am, this little 8th grader, and it's the first couple days of learning to pole vault. And when you run with that long pole and you're just beginning, you're only holding it about halfway up, and all you're trying to do is plant it in the pit and then thrust yourself over a low bar that's maybe only 5 feet above the mat. So it's not very high, or maybe it's 6 feet or something like that. And I was trying to pull my body up. I don't know if I wasn't fast enough or whatever. And I kept knocking that low bar, that horizontal bar, down. And I just got frustrated. And I kept trying, and my other 8th grade friends were able to do it no problem. And I started to feel even more demoralized that I couldn't do it. Is there something wrong with me? And I remember I tried it probably 10 times, knocking it down every time. And by probably the 11th time, I went over and I knocked the pole down again. And I remember I threw my pole down on the mat, and under my breath, I said, I can't do it. And I remember as I grabbed my pole and got off the mat, Stan, who was standing nearby, heard me say, I can't do it, under my breath. And I remember he pulled me aside, didn't draw any attention from anyone else. And he said to me, TJ, remember this, can't, never could do it. I thought, wow. He whispered it in my ear, TJ, can't, never could do it. I remember getting on my bike to ride my bike home that day. With every turn of the wheel, I was thinking, can't, never could do it. Can't, never could do it. In other words, Stan taught me, eliminate the word can't from your vocabulary. That if you say you can't do it, you will find all the evidence in your world to shut down that part of your brain that could enable you to do it. And you know what? I will forever thank Stan those early years of my life, because I think I was 14 years old or 15 years old, I stopped using the word can't. In fact, one of the words that I consider a curse word in my home as I was raising my kids is the word can't. If you use the word can't, that was that's a bad word. We do not say can't. You maybe say, I haven't learned how yet. I choose not to. It's not of an interest to me and so forth. But to say can't, no, because here's the reality. You can learn how to do it. If you'll make a decision, you'll learn how to do it. And so I just invite you today to eliminate the ugliest 4-letter word. Eliminate the word can't from your belief system, from your thought process and so forth. If a challenge comes to you, think about, rather than say, I can't handle this, I can't do this, instead think about, okay, how can I be creative to get around this, to still make it happen? Because I'm determined, and you know what? I'm the type of person that can defy the odds. That's the kind of thing you want to say to yourself. I'm unstoppable. I have greatness within. I'm going to go prove it to myself. Right? What kind of word tracks are you saying? Are they positive or are they negative? You always have a choice in your word tracks that you use. And guess what? The word tracks you use tend to govern your performance. So you want to perform at a higher level, start thinking at a higher level by changing the words you use on a regular basis, because those are incantations. Those are affirmations that either build or they destroy. So keep that in mind. Words either build or they destroy. Okay? So use the best words possible and at least be willing to experiment. Believe that if someone else can do it, you can do it. Believe that, hey, you have the capability and the ingenuity to figure out a different way. Maybe I got to go learn from somebody. Maybe I need to go team up with someone. Maybe I need to go ask that expert a question. And you know what? Maybe the idea will, boom, and then at 2 o'clock in the morning, you'll wake up with the answer that you're hoping for. But if all you do is say, I can't do it, I wasn't born to do it, I don't have the genetic makeup, I don't have the DNA, I don't have the predisposition or whatever else, and you give those excuses to yourself, you're always going to find a reason why you can't do it. At some point, you've got to wake up from that matrix and say, you know what? I'm in charge of my destiny. I have greatness within. And that's what I hope for you today. Can't, never could do it. So delete can't from your vocabulary and believe that you're unstoppable. All right? Now go out there and unleash your greatness within.
Hey there, thanks for taking the time out to listen to my podcast. I want you to know that I am grateful that you are a part of my community, and I hope that you're getting a lot out of my various podcast episodes. You see, it is my goal to provide you with those slide edge principles, strategies, and inspiration that can help you achieve your goals and your dreams. My one request is, if you enjoy my podcast in general, or you have listened to an episode that you really liked, could you do me a favor? It would mean the world to me if you could write a simple review, or if you could simply give me a star rating. I would really appreciate it. Now go out there and unleash your greatness within.
GreatnessWithin.com